the function g, whose graph is given, state the value of each of the quantity if it exists. If it does not exist, then explain why. So for part A, we want to be able to find the limit of g of t as t approaches 0 from the left. So as x is approaching 0 from the left, then this function is approaching what value? Well, we can see that it's at -1, so the answer for part A is -1. So let's take a look at part B. Okay, it's asking us to find the limit of the function g of t as t approaches 0 from the right. So for part B, as we are approaching 0 from the right, we can see the function goes to here, and then it's undefined, and then it comes up here, and then it starts up here, and now it's going to what value? Well, it's going to this value here located at -2. So therefore, this limit is approaching -2. Okay, let's take a look at part C. At part C, it says the limit as t approaches 0 of g of t. Well, we can just look at part A and part B, because if it goes from 0, as t goes from 0 from the left, it's equal to -1. As it approaches 0 from the right, it's equal to -2, and those aren't equal. So therefore, this does not exist. And again, let's just go ahead and take a look at that. As it is approaching 0 from the left, it goes to -1. And as it's approaching 0 from the right, again, we see that this function goes from here, starts up here, and then it goes to -2. So we know that it does not exist for part C. Okay, let's take a look at part D. Part D, it's saying that we want to find the limit of the function of g of t as t is approaching 2 from the left. So as the function is approaching 2 from the left, so that means that the function goes here, and then it jumps to here, and then now it's approaching 2 from the left, and so it ends up at 2. So therefore, we can say that that limit is equal to 2. Okay, let's take a look at part E. Part E is asking us to find the limit of the function g of t as t is approaching 2 from the right. So as we are approaching 2 from the right, the function is approaching what value? Well, the function is approaching 0. So therefore, that is equal to 0. So in part F, it says the limit of the function g of t as t approaches 2. Well, again, if we look at the previous 2, as it is approaching 2 from the left, it's equal to 2. As it is approaching 2 from the right, it's equal to 0. Since those limits are not equal to each other, then that does not exist. And let's just provide the proof for that again. So if we take a look at part F, okay, as the function is approaching 2 from the left, we see that the function goes to 2. And as it is approaching 2 from the right, we see that it stops here at the value of 0. Let's take a look at G. We want to find what is G of 2, where 2 is the input, then what is the output? So we have a closed dot here, so that means that the value of x is 2, and that means that the output is 1, so the answer is 1. Let's take a look at H. Okay, we want to find the limit as t approaches 4 of g of t. So let's take a look at that. So from the left, we need to see what does it approach from the left when it's going to 4. So that means that our function starts on the left, it goes here, and then it jumps to this line here. Okay, then it goes down here, then it goes here, and then it hits 4 on the x-axis right here. So the output is 3. So that tells us that the limit as t approaches 4 from the left of the function g of t is equal to 3. Now let's see what happens when we start from the right. So as the function g of t, as it is approaching 4 from the right, we can see that it also goes to 3. So therefore, the limit as t approaches 4 from the right of the function g of t is equal to 3. So then we can say that because these are both equal, then that means that the limit as t approaches 4 of the function g of t is equal to 3. So the answer is 3.